Now it's official, the transformation unit is finally in the game. Okay, it's not in the game because it's not released yet, it will only release in 2 days by the time I'm recording, but we already know it is gonna happen. Eren is the first character, which is not even a 7th License character, but it's the first character ever in the game to have a transformation, and he will stay transformed. His is gonna transform with his ultimate, and upon using the ultimate, he becomes a Titan, and then he stays a Titan for 5 turns, and then he goes back to his normal form. And I assume he can turn it back, of course, right? And for that, he changes his cards, he changes his passive, he changes his ultimate. I mean, his ultimate, of course, as a base Eren, is just, you know, transforms, and then he gets an actual ultimate, right? I don't know yet, you know, it hasn't been released in the game, so we don't know if the base and the mix like stats, like attack, damage and stuff changes, but I assume not. But yeah, with transformations now in the game, I am really curious to see what characters more that we're going to be getting with transformations. And I have a list here of the ones I want the most. Now, a lot of these are not yet in the anime, but when I start talking about the ones that are only manga, I will warn the spoilers, of course. So if you don't want to get spoiled about the manga, I'll let you know beforehand. But just throwing it out there, I think everyone that hasn't read the manga yet for 7 Deadly Sins should. The anime is not good. The season 3 and I would assume season 4, terribly animated. Honestly, read the manga. It's the story is really good. I'm telling you, what should be season 4 of the anime is really good because I've already read it, of course. When I was reading 7 Deadly Sins, towards like the ending, like the third and fourth of the story, like second half, that's better saying, right? It's just so much stuff happening. It's so exciting and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure the anime is gonna ruin it because of the goofy animation, right? But seriously, read the manga and then you come back and watch the video, so you don't get spoiled. But I'm just saying. All right. So starting off, again, when I start talking about spoilers, I'll let you know. For these beginning units, it's been stuff in the anime already. So I really want to see an SR skinny Escanor that transforms into like actual like strong Escanor. That would be so cool. Like I say SR, right? Because I think like skinny Escanor, I don't think we should get like we should get an SSR for him as well, but I feel like SR would be a better fitting for him, and then he transformed into regular Escanor. I know we already have regular Escanor, but I think this would be really cool. This would be pretty dope, just for the character's sake and stuff, how the character actually works. I think it would be really nice to have a skinny Escanor in the game in general as a playable character. And if he has a transformation, it's even cooler. So that was my first pick. My second pick is actually base Meliodas that transforms into not Demon Meliodas. Actually, this is not the earliest. This is when he's confused. You know, in season 1, when we were starting to like really know what Meliodas was about, and like he's like this demon. Every time he turned into like a demon, he would seem like he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what he's doing, and he has this confused face. This confused face Meliodas, we actually have him in story mode as an enemy. Where's in reverse stage as an enemy? I think it's in reverse stage as an enemy. You can fight against him, and he has an ultimate animation. He has like his own attack animations, but he's not a playable character. And honestly, I really wanted to be a base Meliodas that he doesn't. Honestly, like okay, so with Eren, right? He transforms on his ultimate, but they honestly could make it different. They could make it transform on a passive, right? Maybe if 2 allies die, it would make sense for the character and stuff, right? If 2 allies die, he just goes berserk, right? It would make sense with the character for him to transform if, I don't know, if an Elizabeth on your team dies, but that's too specific. I'm saying like if an ally dies, he goes berserk would be pretty nice, and I think it would be very fitting for a base Meliodas to transform into a confused Demon Meliodas. I think it would be really cool, especially because I think this is my favorite form of Meliodas, and we don't have him in the game, which is pretty sad. My favorite form of Meliodas is like the only ones we don't have in the game. Like we have Demon Meliodas, which honestly is pretty much Assault Meliodas, right? The Demon Meliodas that we have is Evil Meliodas. Like you can see, like he's kind of like evil. That's pretty much Assault Meliodas without the actual like assault costume that he has, which I'll talk about in a second. That's anime, it's been season 3, so I can talk about. Next up, of course, I think everyone would expect me to want this, but I really, and this is my top 1 pick. I don't have this in order, I just put them in here, you know. The first few ones are the ones that aren't spoiler, and then the ones that are spoiler. But Escanor that turns into the One. This has to happen. Like, this has to happen, alright? And, like, it has to. Like, can you imagine if they would say, you like, okay, this is, you know, just imagine with me, alright? If Green and Red Escanor would gain not only a possibility of using the ultimate, but also transforming into the One. Let's say like you double tap the ultimate card and it turns around and becomes like a transformation card. That would be so dope. Oh, that would be so dope. I mean, you could make a new Escanor for it as well, of course. That's probably what they would do to make more money, right? But I'm just imagining, okay? But 100% Escanor that turns into the One would make them so much money. That should have been the anniversary unit, my guy. Right there. I'm giving you $1 billion idea. The marble. Right here. Make him the anniversary unit. Make him the anniversary unit on global. And since you messed up on JP, alright? Release Elizabeth randomly. Make the One transforming unit the anniversary on global. Boom. I'm telling you. It's gonna make so much more money than Elizabeth. Anyways. The One is, of course, a character I want to see a lot because he is my favorite, like Asuka's favorite character in the anime, right? And when he turns into One, like when I was reading, like I read the manga before season 3 came out, and when I was reading the manga, I didn't know that he would be like that. I knew he would grow stronger, right? But when he turns into the One, I was freaking out. I was actually freaking out. It was so cool. And to pair up with him, of course, I also think Base, either Base or Demon. I put a picture for Base just because I already had to put it up, but either Base or Demon or Lost Vein could work. But a melee that transforms into Assault melee, because then it would be like with the purpose of the costume and everything. It could be, again, any of those. I think it would be more fitting if it was either Base or Lost Vein, because during that fight I recall, before he got into the Melascula Cocoon, is it called Cocoon? I don't know. Wait, let me take a look. Yes, it's called Cocoon. Okay, alright. I'll go with that. Before he gets trapped, right? He was just regular. He wasn't Demon at all. He wasn't in Demon form at all. He was just regular Meliodas. So he could be either Base or Lost Vein Meliodas that turns into Assault Meliodas. That would be really cool. And especially, honestly, if they change how the character, per team works. Because right now, if you want to use a Meliodas, you can't use any other Meliodas, right? Let's say you use a base Meliodas in your team, you can't use Demon Meliodas. But if they change it to how Dokkan is, where, let's say you have Goku in your team, you can still use Super Saiyan Goku, but not like the same Goku. Like, let's say, if you already have base melee, then you can also still use Lost Vein melee or Demon melee because they are count as different characters since they use different costumes. I think that would be perfect for transformations and stuff. Because, let's say you have like let's say they release a standalone, right, Assault melee, and then you have this base melee that transforms into Assault melee, and you can use both in the same team. That would be really dope. I mean, the transformation thing is confirmed. Like, it's in the game now, and it's gonna. They are 100% making more units for it because there's no way they would make a mechanic just for one new character and then be done with it, right? They are gonna make transformations for so many other characters probably in the future. And that implementation would be really dope. I talked about her, but I think Melascula, alright? I put the manga picture, but of course this has been in the anime. Melascula transforming into the big snake. Low-key, I actually do want that. I do want that. I mean, she isn't the most iconic thing ever, but just for giggles, I think it would be pretty cool. Just the biggest snake. Not much to talk about, to be honest, but I really think it would be cool. But something that I really hope to happen, because Monspeed doesn't have a big representation in the game, is both Monspeed and Darriere turn into their Indra form. And of course, I'm talking about standalone cards. I'm not talking like about a dual card. Unless they want to start doing dual cards are not a thing yet. But like a standalone Monspeed, they transform into an Indra Monspeed, and standalone Darriere, they transform into an Indra Darriere. That'd be super dope, super dope. And honestly, they could make it so, right? Because of how Indra works, they risk their lives to transform into Indra, right? It could be like, oh, if you transform, you have 7 turns, and if you don't beat the enemy in 7 turns, they die. That would actually be super dope. Like, you get a mega power up for 7 turns, but if you don't beat the stage in 7 turns, or 6 or 5, whatever they would want to do, right? And then they die. That would be super, like, anything that would correlate with how it works in the anime, I think would be really cool. Now, here's when I will now start talking about spoilers in the manga. So if you don't want to be spoiled from the manga, stop watching. I like my retention time and I like my watch time, but I'm telling you, if you don't want to get spoiled for the manga, don't keep watching. Don't complain that I didn't warn, because I'm warning you again, alright? So, the next one I really want is Estarossa that goes berserk and gets his bell. Holy, do I want that. Oh my god, that'll be super cool. Oh, I love Estarossa, right? And when he goes berserk, when he snatched that bell out of his ass, oh, it was so cool. And from the same fight, King that transforms into Chad King. Oh, make this a dual banner. Make this a dual banner. Oh, Chad King is just so cool. He's just so cool. Like, King, I already liked King, but he shot up in my my favorites for the story. Like, for me, currently, and I know some people might disagree with me, but currently my list is, for like favorite sins, is Escanor, and then King, and then Meliodas, and then Ban. King is just so cool, man. And he has like Josuke's hair as well, dude. He's just so cool. This has to be a dual banner. Like, can you imagine, dude? Oh. That's actual hype, alright? No freaking Goddess Elizabeth. It's actual hype, dude. Alright. Next up, I actually really want the original demon. Okay, so for that to work, of course, they need to first introduce Chandler and Kusuk, but for gachas to be able to like combine characters, and this would be a combination of characters, unless they would do a dual unit, which I don't think they would. Of course, the original demon is a combination of demons, and for that to work, there is actually like a way of making combination cards work, because a lot of people think it's illegal to like make a combination, like two separate cards into one. But actually, if one of the cards is free, you actually can do it. So they could make one of them free and the other summonable, and let this be able to be done. That would be really dope to be able to use the original demon. I bet the original demon would, like, in a year, 2 years, maybe get like a raid, but a playable character that would be a transformation unit for me would be so hype. It would be so cool. Now moving on, I think these two next ones are actually pretty cool. Zeldris that becomes Demon King Zeldris. Okay, so of course, Demon King Zeldris isn't actually Zeldris, is the Demon King controlling him. But I think it would still work out. You know, maybe he just gets an animation of him just getting possessed, I guess. And becomes Demon King Zeldris. That'd be pretty cool. And to combine with that, the same thing for Meliodas. It could be either any version of Meliodas. Probably Lost Vein would be the best one for it, or Demon, not Base. And it becomes Demon King Meliodas. Like these two right here, you know. Them after they get possessed, that'll be really dope. Really dope. Like all these manga characters, I'm telling you, man, like the season 4 of the anime, if they animate it right, it'll be so cool. And then to end it off, because of course I have to end with Escanor, the one that becomes the one ultimate. Now, like all these three right here, this ain't coming for years, okay? This ain't coming for years. But I don't want to see it. The one that becomes the one ultimate has to happen, dude. Oh, it was like the hypest thing ever. It was like literally Escanor is the god. He's literally, he became god. Like there's nothing that can stop him. And that is my list. I think, like, maybe I missed some characters, but those are the ones I thought of. Oh, I almost forgot the most important one. Base Merlin that becomes Loli Merlin. Yes!